Welcome to my SOL review video on 1 and 2-step inequalities. So what is an inequality? An inequality is a mathematical sentence that contains one of the following symbols: greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. Now, when you're graphing inequalities, less than or greater than does not include the number. So we use an open circle. Less than or equal to or greater than or equal to does include the number. So we use a closed circle. So just an open circle colored in. Okay, let me show you what I mean by practicing these next two examples. So it says x is less than 2, which means x cannot equal 2. It has to be less than 2. So that's what I mean by an open circle. So 2 is not a solution to this, but anything less than 2 is a solution. So less than, we shade this way. All these numbers are less than 2. Oops. And so we use an open circle and shade less than 2. Now look at this next one. It says 1 is less than or equal to x. So if when we graph, we always read it from the letter. So if we read it from the letter, we're going to say x is greater than or equal to 1. So x is greater than or equal to 1. So we always read it from the letter. So in this case, it's greater than or equal to 1. So 1 is included. So we have to use a closed circle. And we're going to shade greater than or equal to, so we're shading to the right. All these numbers are greater than or equal to 1, including 1 since we shaded it in. So remember, when we're solving inequalities, we have to remember to flip the sign when multiplying or dividing both sides by a negative. So we only flip the sign if we multiply or divide both sides by a negative. And also, the symbol flips around when we read it from the letter. If the letter is on the right side, we read it from the letter, and then it flips the symbol around. Okay, let's look at example number 1. So remember our procedure when we did equations: circle the variable and draw our t if it's addition or subtraction, and it is. So the opposite of adding 2 would be subtracting 2 from both sides. 2 minus 2 cancels and equals 0. Bring down your x and bring the symbol straight down. It's a less than symbol, not an equal symbol. And negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. So x is less than negative 7. And I can double check to make sure that number is correct. I can do negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. I got negative 5. And I can also pick something less than negative 7 to make sure this is a true statement. So I can pick negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6, and negative 6 is less than negative 5. So I have the correct symbol going the correct way. So open circle for less than, and we're going to shade all the numbers less than negative 7. So we're going to shade this way. And remember, inequalities have more than one answer because there are so many answers to this question. All the solutions are less than negative 7. So I can have negative 8, I can have negative 100, I can have negative 1 billion. All those are solutions to this question. Number 2, 12 is less than or equal to 4 plus x. So once again, circle your variable and draw your t. And now we want to cancel out the 4 by subtracting 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 12 minus 4 is 8. Bring it straight down. Bring the symbol straight down. And bring the x straight down. Now, once we bring everything straight down, now we can read it from the variable. So we can leave it 8 is less than or equal to x, but it's much easier to graph when the x is on the left side. So read it backwards. X is greater than or equal to 8. So open or close circle. Good, it's closed. And we're going to shade to the right. And now I can check 4 plus 8 is 12. And I can also check one of the solutions here. So 9, let's just pick 9. 4 plus 9 is 13. Is 12 less than or equal to 13? It is, so I know I'm shading the correct way. Okay, let's go to the back. All right, n divided by 3 is less than or equal to -6. Now, I don't have addition or subtraction, so I don't need to draw my t here. I typically don't. So I asked myself, okay, I want to get the variable by itself. What's the opposite of dividing by 3? And the answer is multiplying by 3. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Because this is really 1/3, the inverse of 1/3 is 3, so that's why those cancel out. And I'm left with just n. Bring the symbol straight down. And -6 times 3 is -18. And what I can do is I can plug anything into this inequality that's less than or equal to -18 to double check to make sure it does check. And it does in fact check. And notice I didn't flip the symbol because I multiply both sides by a +3. It's only when I multiply or divide both sides by a negative. Okay, look at number 4. I don't have addition or subtraction. So this is just a one-step problem. The opposite of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide both sides by -3. -3 divided by -3 is a 1 in disguise. And this time I do have to flip the symbol because I'm dividing both sides by a negative. So flip it, and 15 divided by -3 is -5. And now I can pick anything less than -5 to double check this. And let's just pick -6. -3 times -6 is 18. Is 18 greater than 15? It sure is. So it does in fact check. Okay, number 5. Circle your variable and draw your t since we have addition here. Now I'm going to cancel out 15. Would I add 15 or subtract 15? Good, I'm going to subtract 15. 15 minus 15 is 0. Bring down your 4x and bring your symbol straight down. -25 minus 15 is -40. Now I'm not done. I don't have the variable by itself. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is a 1 in disguise. And I'm not going to flip the symbol here because I'm dividing by a +4. So -40 divided by 4 is -10. And I can pick something less than -10. So let's pick -11. 4 times -11 is -44. 15 plus -44 is -29. And -29 is less than -25. So it does in fact check. Okay, very last problem. Circle your variable and draw your t. The opposite of subtracting 4 is adding 4. The -4 plus 4 is 0. Bring down your -1/2 x. And -12 plus 4 is -8. Now I'm going to show you something that will make you, it will create less steps for you. So take this negative. I know I put it in front. When the fraction is negative, you can put it on the bottom. So now what's the opposite of dividing by -2? Good, multiplying by -2. So I can multiply both sides by -2. And by doing that, this saves me a step because now the negative and the 2 cancels in one step. I have a 1x, so just 1 in disguise. Because I multiply both sides by a negative, what do I have to do to the symbol? Good, flip it. And -8 times -2 is 16. So now I can pick anything less than or equal to 16 here. And let's just pick 14. So negative 1/2 of 14 is negative 7. Negative 7 minus 4 is negative 11. And negative 11 is greater than or equal to negative 12. So it does, in fact, check. So remember to flip the inequality symbol when you're multiplying or dividing both sides by a negative. And remember, bring your symbol straight down. Do not rewrite it or flip it until you multiply or divide by a negative, or when you get to the very end, if the variable's on the right, read it backwards and you can flip it around that. That concludes our notes or SOL review video on 1- and 2-step inequalities. I hope you have a great day.